Welcome back to another episode of what is it, Lorraine?
The Twinster Pod.
Woo! Okay, pretend like there's a crowd.
I hear him.
Okay, we should add that. We'll add
Yeah.
that, like they say, we'll add that in post.
Yes, have Perry add that.
Yes, we will. So, welcome back. We always have to start with our jingle. So, I will
Yes.
start it and then Lorraine will finish it and then we'll have a big jazz hands at the end. Join in with us because you know it.
Everyone.
This is our 10th
Yes.
episode, 10th.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, here
Yeah.
we are.
So, here we go. Hi, I'm Amy.
And I'm Lorraine.
This is the Twinster Pod. Jazz hands and scene. Okay, fine.
Jeez.
We're excited that you're here. We always love recording these. They're just like 15, 20 minutes of just literal goofiness for me and Lorraine.
Which is a daily thing, honestly,
Pretty
whether we're recording or not.
much. So she's on one side of the country, I'm on the other, but we love to stay in touch with each other because it's a twin thing and we don't feel like we're that far apart how often do we text each other? Quite a bit.
Yeah, daily.
And I call you every morning on my way to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're an hour ahead of me. So it works out perfectly.
Sure does. I'm like, hey, what's up? Hey, girl. And she's like,
I'm like painting the barn, putting my makeup on.
which is funny. So today what we're going to talk about is Saturday morning programs or cartoons. Because let's be honest, they're not the same as they used to be when we
Yeah.
were growing up. So we're 55.
And if you're Gen X, yeah, that's what I was going to say. We're 55 now. Gen X, you know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That's the only time we got cartoons, Saturday mornings from, what was it, 7 to noon or something like that?
Because we didn't have all the channels that all these young folks have. Well, everybody has. You could have all the apps, all the different apps that, even though if kids or people say there's nothing to watch, well, you have literally 1,000 programs to watch. We had 2 channels, so we don't want to hear it.
Pretty much, yeah. And sometimes they worked and sometimes they didn't. I mean, when we were little, we had the the rabbit ear antennas, and sometimes we got 2 channels, sometimes we got 3.
Yeah.
Sometimes we had to put aluminum foil on it.
Yeah.
It's true.
We had a big antenna that was like as tall as a huge building out on top of our house.
Yes.
And
that's how we got our 2 or 3 channels.
You could climb it, but it wasn't recommended for safety.
No. Not at all.
So we're going to just tell you, and we want you to send us, maybe you had programs that you watched, or maybe a couple that we're going to talk about. You're like, oh yeah, I loved those. So do you remember, Lorraine, Land of the Lost?
I knew you were going to start with that. Definitely. Yes. I remember that. We loved it. Except for the one thing on there that always scared me.
Slee stacks.
The slee stacks.
Yeah.
And I mean, I knew they were coming and I knew where they were, and they always went in the tunnel or into the caves.
Yeah.
And they were, but yeah, loved that show.
And how did they get on the island? I forget.
I don't remember either. We'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
If you've never heard of it, Google it, because it's kind of funny. I don't remember.
I don't either. We should ask Suri. Hey, Suri. Hey, Suri. One moment. Hey, Suri.
Her name's Siri.
She finally answered. How did the family get on the island on Land of the Lost? Here we go. They were rafting on the Colorado River in the Grand Canyon when they were caught in the greatest earthquake ever known. The river was diverted over a cliff, and as the marshals' raft plunged over the resulting waterfall, they struck a time doorway partway down, trapped in the Land of the Lost with only the minimal camping equipment they've had in the raft. I don't even remember that.
Neither do I.
That's as if I've read it for the first time.
Interesting.
So yeah, I'm sure they probably told that at the very beginning of the
That was probably in the pilot one, yeah, but
I don't even remember that. It's been a minute.
don't remember. Been a
So
hot minute.
been a minute. And
Yes.
so we both remembered that one. Was there one that you also remembered that you were like, oh yeah, or as little kids, maybe little kids?
Well, I remember the Smurfs.
Yes,
That was cute.
it was cute.
That was only on Saturdays. And then Fat Albert.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. You know,
Yeah, that
you
was
know,
cute.
you know what is also fun, which was not on Saturdays, but as we were teenagers, Friday night videos.
Yeah.
That's the only time that kind of mom would let us listen to secular music was on, well,
Yeah,
actually her and dad went to bed. I don't even think they knew we were watching Friday night videos. Do you remember that?
probably not.
Pretty sure we were like, turn it down so they don't, Bob and Georgia don't hear it.
Yeah, that was because MTV started,
Mhm.
I think it was in the 80s, wasn't it? Because I can remember loving to spend the night at Sheila Dillon's house because
Yeah.
she had cable and she had MTV.
Yes.
And we didn't get to watch the videos, but
Yeah.
yeah, I do remember that.
So that was one of them, even though that wasn't Saturday morning programs. But yeah, the Smurfs, um, and and I think the Smurfs were on. Fat Albert was on. They like programs started, and 30 minutes later, then the next one come on. So we just
Yeah.
back to back.
I can remember spending the night at Grandma Virginia's house, so our mom's mom, and eating cornflakes or frosted flakes sitting in
Uh,
front of her TV. Do you remember that?
no, but I love frosted flakes and cornflakes.
Oh, well, I think that's what she bought most of. And I remember sitting in that. I have a poor memory of that, sitting in front of her TV watching the cartoons on Sunday morning.
Well, look at you. And
Yeah.
what
Um,
would they do anything on Saturday afternoons, or would the cartoons kind of?
I think sports came on then.
Oh, okay. Well, then Dad had the TV after that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think sports came on after that, but we kind of stopped watching after that.
We hardly had two nickels to rub together, but we had a TV in every room.
Yeah, and do you remember I we were 10 years old and mom had taken us to Shiloh to a game. Now, we played volleyball, so maybe it was when we were playing volleyball in 6th grade, but I played basketball in 5th grade. I don't know, but we got home and dad said, "Hey, go turn up the TV," because they didn't have remotes then.
Yeah, we were the
And
remote.
so
We were the
when
remote.
he was watching a baseball game, and do you remember, he said, "Go turn up the TV," and we did, and we're like, "Oh my gosh, we have colored TV." We thought
Oh,
we were
no,
rich.
no,
You don't remember that?
no, but I love
Yeah,
that story.
that's how he was surprising us with colored
Oh,
TV.
yeah,
And I
we had
mean, it was like 1980 or something,
one in the
or
kitchen,
83. Yeah, we
one in
did.
the family room, and I think mom and dad might have had a small one in their bedroom.
I
Didn't they have
think
a small
so.
one? Yeah, and our house was
Probably.
little. The house was little that we grew
It
up.
was tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was always the TV was always playing or music was always going. I mean,
Yeah.
mom and dad slept to music at night. So um that's how we fell asleep too. Just
Yeah.
we always had something playing.
Yeah. That's probably why I need a fan on at night. I like to have white noise or some kind of noise.
I
It's
know. And
dead quiet.
same when I married Tim, like he likes it dark
Mm-mm.
and quiet.
No.
And that was a struggle. Um I had to download a fan app,
Well,
which we
sure.
do have fans on, but I had to download a fan app, I can remember, because it made a different sound. 'Cause I cannot sleep with no
No.
noise.
No, you need something. It's just because we grew up like that, you know.
Yeah.
We
Yep.
definitely grew up with like noise, like you said. But maybe you guys have some favorite programs on Saturday mornings, or even if you remember Friday night videos. I mean, the kids these days wouldn't have any idea what that even is.
Oh,
They would be like, what the, because we didn't get to see like the videos, so they'd show like, Beat It. So like Beat It and all of like the Madonna songs. So all of the videos that were
yep.
kind of racy and risque last, when we were growing up, that's when they would show them, be like 9 to midnight. Isn't that when they were on? Yeah.
Probably.
So we'd be like, turn it down, don't
Which risque back then,
Oh yeah.
was nothing
Nothing
now.
what it is now. Yeah, exactly. 100% agree with you. So with that said, so yeah, let us know. Did you grow up with like those same shows or do you have some other ones? Because we're missing a bunch of them that we grew up with. But
Yeah, I know. I can't remember a lot of the cartoons, but I bet other people can,
yeah,
because there were a lot of them on
yeah.
Saturday mornings, and maybe in different parts of the country they were different cartoons too.
And you could
I
probably
don't know.
find some of them that we grew up with though on the Cartoon Network,
Hmm.
something like that. So
Yeah.
anyway, so yeah, email us and let us know. We'd love to hear from you. You know our email. So we want to, what do we always end with, Lorraine?
Some funny jokes and memes.
That's it. So I
That's
always like
it.
to let Lorraine, you go first. I have a couple to
Okay.
share with the class, and then we will put another podcast in the books. Number 10.
Okay. Well, speaking of risque, this might be a
Uh-oh.
little, but this one's
Uh-oh.
this one's hysterical. I think it's funny. Okay. Sexually, I identify as Little Caesar's Pizza. My pronouns are hot and ready.
Girl. Oh no, she didn't.
That was so funny.
You ain't right. It's funny.
Oh, I tell you that.
I'll be like, oh,
This I know. Mom will listen to this and go, "Oh,
she's
girls,
to us. We got
ladies,
her.
no,
Don't even let Georgia
it's
Horse
true.
act like she's
It's true."
innocent because the woman
Okay,
is hilarious.
she is. She'll like this one too. I just learned the word for constipation in German. Far from pooping.
You ain't right. Oh my gosh. That's funny. Those are good.
Yeah, thank you.
We try not to say, again, we always tell you, we send inappropriate ones to each other, which we cannot read.
Yeah, we could, but
But
we're not.
might get kicked
We're
off.
going to behave ourselves.
Airwaves are not ready for those. So, okay, here we go. I've got two funny ones. You ready? Okay.
I'm ready.
Netflix and Hulu got one more price raise before I dust off that DVD player.
No kidding.
And people are like, facts, my friend, facts. And this one's so funny. This will make you laugh. Am I supposed to pray over leftovers? Me, Lord, it's me again with the spaghetti. He's like, you're back with the spaghetti? Yes, pray for your spaghetti.
Bless it again. Yeah.
Bless it again. Exactly. So yeah, please feel free. I know a lot of you are friends with us on Facebook or you've got our cell phone number to text us.
Yeah.
Text us or Facebook message us. We would love to read some of the memes that or funny pictures or jokes or whatever that you have because we love to end our podcast with those because we're here to make you laugh, which we hope you did, right, Lorraine?
Exactly. We hope so. We think we're funny.
100%. And
We hope
really,
you think we're
really isn't that all that matters that we think we're funny?
well, it's true.
Fact.
Even if nobody watched, we'd do this anyway.
We really would. And maybe there isn't anybody watching, but in our minds, there's 1,500,000.
Well, we know our mom watches.
Yes. And we appreciate that.
Love you, Mom.
We have one view, our mom.
She's our biggest fan.
So anyways, with that said, we hope we made you laugh. We hope we made you smile. And we want you to join us on another episode of the Twinster Pod next week.